Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. I wanted to take a moment with this episode to talk about an upcoming astrology transit that will likely have a big impact on everyone's lives. It's Saturn moving into Aries, and I would suggest, if you don't have an astrologer that you follow on a podcast or on YouTube, I highly, highly, highly recommend finding a best friend to follow that does astrology, because there's so much happening this year, especially, and next year in astrology that is likely going to be life-altering in a lot of ways on the collective stage, but also individually. Especially when it comes to, now we just had Neptune move into Aries on March 30th. And now we're going to have Saturn enter Aries for a short stay this year in 2025 from May 24th through September 1st, 2025. So we're going to kind of get a taste of what Saturn in Aries feels like, what it's going to bring up for us, and what it will be highlighting over the course of the next 2 to 3 years once it stations into Aries long term on February 14th, 2026. And at some point, Saturn is going to conjunct Neptune, and that only happens once every 30 years, right? And it only happens in the sign of Aries. Well, I don't know how many times it happens in the sign of Aries, because Neptune's going to be in there for a while, like 14 years or something. Well, actually, yeah. So it'll only happen once in our lifetime, Saturn conjunct Neptune, because Saturn is in a sign anywhere from 2.5 to 3 years. Neptune is in a sign for 14 years. And so, and Saturn takes 30 years about to get around the zodiac wheel. So significant transits here for all of us. Especially once there is that Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which will occur pretty much once Saturn gets into Aries long term, which will be again around February 14th, 2026. I'll put out another video once Saturn stations into Aries permanently. Well, not permanently, but for its long haul in February, as we get closer to that conjunction with Neptune, because I think that's going to be really significant and the energies could change a bit. So we will revisit this. Consider this video part 1, or this episode part 1, and part 2 will come out in 2026. The other things I want you to kind of, and the reason why I say find an astrologer that you enjoy and watch for your rising sign. Your sun sign is great, but that's more your vitality, your career, how you reach your goals. Your rising sign is how your astrology chart looks from the day of your birth, right? So the houses and everything are set up exactly as it was on your day of birth or your time of birth. So that's why the rising sign is so important, and to listen to your rising sign. So highly recommend finding someone that can explain some of these transits more in depth, as it will affect your rising sign, because I think it can offer you such great, a further vantage point into your journey that correlates with the numerology so beautifully. Some other transits that we have coming up before I get into this Saturn transit is we have Uranus moving into Gemini on July 7th, 2025. So in just a couple of months, and Uranus will be in Gemini for 7 years. It's been in Taurus for 7 years, thereabouts. So big transition when these big outer planets make these moves into the next house. We feel it. It's a shift in energy. So big transition point here on July 7th, 2025, with Uranus going into Gemini. Then we have Jupiter going into Cancer on June 9th, 2025. So in just a few weeks, actually, from the time I'm putting out this video, from the time that Saturn is moving into Aries, we'll have Jupiter going into Cancer. And so that's another significant one as well. Jupiter stays about a year in each sign. So it's not as sort of earth-shattering as some of these other big heavy hitters changing signs. So, but it's still significant. So anyway, find an astrologer, keep up with what's happening with your own personal chart. And yeah. Okay, let's get back to Saturn in Aries. So I'm not going to spend too much time on like what that means, because I do think an astrologer is going to be able to go into that much more deeply. But I do want to spend some time on what Saturn in Aries means for you, for your life path, and what energies, what it could bring up for you. So Saturn moves into Aries on May 24th, 2025, and again, will be there until around September 1st, 2025. Then it will retrograde back into Pisces until February 2026. So again, this forecast is really just kind of an idea of what you could be facing for the next couple of months, like what could come up for you. Again, it's likely going to show you a highlight reel for what's to come once, again, Saturn moves in long term in February. So pay attention from May 24th through September 1st, what comes up in your life that requires more commitment, dedication, where are you being asked to get serious, to dedicate your time to invest in, to take your time, to have more patience around whatever this is. Usually where Saturn, touches or where it comes in, it's requiring more effort, more dedication, a focus on this area. And there can be restrictions in this area as well. But those restrictions or that loss, whatever might come in around sort of the sacrifice that Saturn requires, will pay off, right? Saturn is like 4 energy. The effort put forth will be rewarded, and it will be rewarded in direct proportion to the effort put forth. So whatever, this brings up for you, it's asking for your focus, your attention, your dedication, and it will pay off. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at each life path number and what will be required of you over the next several months and then into February and beyond. Oh, and before I forget, master numbers, listen to your root life path number. Life path number 1, you all are being asked to get serious about your creativity and your creative self-expression, how you put yourself out into the world. Also, you're going to be asked to stop making yourself small. Face that self-doubt that may crop up when you're put in the spotlight or when it's time to share your ideas or express yourself. This energy is going to really push you outside of your comfort zone and really ask you to get serious about showing up authentically and uniquely as yourself. You could also see themes of communication come in. So the written spoken word, how you communicate, and any adjustments that are needed in that communication. Also, this could be a really busy social time, a great time for collaborations, for sharing ideas, for networking, and for seeing different perspectives and incorporating those perspectives into the work that you're doing. The other thing is getting connected to your inner child, to your sense of your greater self, and letting your imagination run wild, not being too rigid or too strict on how you present yourself and how you share your creativity. So greater self-expression is absolutely on the highlight reel for you all under this transit. Life Path 2 and 11-2, you all are going to be asked to check your foundations. This is a 4 energy. So this is very much like, Saturn loves 4 energy. It's a very similar vibration. So for you all, it's going to be about getting serious about your foundations. Wherever there are cracks within those foundations, you will be asked to address them. This can bring up themes around home or the physical structure of your home. So, if there's remodeling that you want to do, if there's some work on your home that you need to do, this is the time to get serious, get focused, and do the work. Same thing with your physical body. If things come up around your physical body during this period of time, you're going to be asked to get serious about it, address it, get it seen. Don't ignore it because it will likely only get worse. And so this is an energy that asks you to spend more time listening to your body. What does your body need? More sleep? Give yourself more sleep, more time for rest and relaxation and not working so hard. Give yourself that downtime. Also, you might want to start a different fitness routine or a health routine that feels good for you, that your body is asking for. That can definitely come in at this time as well. This can be a very sensitive time. It can bring up your emotions, especially emotions from the past, and it can ask you to get serious about working through those emotions. So this is a beautiful time to seek out therapy or healing or something that will help you to face those inner demons and move through them and learn to manage your emotions as opposed to your emotions managing you. Also, things that you're building at this time. This is a very loyal, dedicated, committed energy. So you might be asked to commit to something long term and to take your time and have patience in building whatever this is. There is definitely something here about not procrastinating, but putting your nose to the grindstone and taking things step by step to build some kind of legacy, some kind of something that will be sustainable and that will last the test of time. Life path number 3, you are being asked to get serious about your joy. Really, it's about getting serious about letting your hair down, not being too rigid, experiencing life with all of your senses, saying yes to the things outside of your comfort zone, saying yes to the things that, maybe you have fear around and irrational fear around. And you need to kind of move through and experience so that you can again move beyond whatever is holding you back to greater self-expression, to be able to step into yourself as truly and as authentically as possible. This is about gaining greater freedom in some area where there's been probably some kind of extreme restriction, or you have been holding yourself back from some self-imposed prison. You could see the work being done here during this transit to help you to break free from those barriers, to help you to open the gate and run out and run wild and free, basically. So it's pushing you to make the changes necessary and to do the work to create the transformations necessary that will bring greater freedom and greater self-expression into your life. So anywhere that you're holding yourself back from expressing yourself as truly and as authentically as you, this energy is really going to get in there and push you and push you and push you until you break free from the restraints that are keeping you stuck. So big energy. Life path number 4 and 22-4, we're going to be working with the vibration of the 6. So all eyes on day-to-day routines or things to do with your home and your home environment, beautifying your space in some way. Maybe you're going to remodel. Maybe you're going to move homes, buy or sell a house or something along those lines, or move and change communities in some way. That's very possible at this time. You could also see yourself becoming more a part of your community or of a community that feels good for you. And this might require some volunteer work that you're doing, or your work in the world, or who you're connecting with and networking with. You could see that change during this period of time. This is also a huge emphasis on relationships, then those relationships closest to your heart. So friends, family, partners, and again, community. So you might see some changes come into those dynamics that you'll need to kind of move through and maneuver through and work with. So when you move through a 6 cycle, especially one that's requiring your focus and dedication, it can bubble to the surface any issues that maybe you've been sweeping under the rug and you've wanted to try to avoid because it's those more difficult conversations that might need to be had. This will bring it to the surface to be dealt with, and you'll need to deal with it in order to get to the truth of whatever that situation is and to heal it or to move beyond it. And so this energy is pushing you to do what is in the best interest of all involved, in the highest good of all involved. And sometimes that means having those difficult conversations and, addressing the elephant in the room and working through it. So that could definitely be coming up at this time. Also, you could be getting serious about love. You could see new people enter your life at this time, whether it's a romantic relationship, an adoption, having a baby, a new pet, something along those lines is very possible now. Also, this could be a time where people are leaving your home or relationships are ending in some way. If they're no longer working and they're not you're not able to mend them or heal them, you could see them fall away at this time. But just remember, whatever this energy takes away is clearing space for something more aligned and something more aligned with your journey forward. So it's not punitive, it's here to help in the journey, in the process. Life path number 5, you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 7 for this transit. So this is a period of greater self-discovery. There could be experiences that come in for you, opportunities that come in for you that give you the opportunity to learn something new about yourself. And sometimes we do that best through our experiences with others. So you could connect with people that, again, have something to teach you about yourself. And usually that's done through reflection, right? There's usually they hold a mirror up to you or they trigger things within you and you have to kind of go within and do that greater self-reflection to figure out why are they triggering you? Why are they having this effect on you? That sort of thing. Sometimes people can come into our lives and help us to learn lessons in a very beautiful way about how to receive love, how to, show up to love in a healthier way, etc. So that's also very possible under this vibration. But this is a period of greater self-reflection, asking yourself the bigger questions and probably getting those bigger answers and being open to those answers so that you can do something and make decisions from that new clarity that will likely come in for you under this period of time. Your health also comes into focus with this energy. So make sure that, holistically, anywhere that you feel disconnected, that you give yourself the opportunity to find your way back to yourself. Listen to your body, take the appropriate actions to help you to heal what needs healing at this time, whatever comes up for you. This is not a time for avoidance or suppression. Make sure that you move through whatever needs moving through. Give yourself the ample time for self-soothing, self-care, rest and relaxation. This is definitely about holistic health for you all and that greater self-discovery. Go deeper, go beyond the illusions. This can be a really beneficial cycle for you all where so many answers can come in for you and so many new opportunities. But no forcing. This isn't about forcing. This is about working with the universe to discover what it wants to show you. Life path number 6 and 33-6. You all are being asked to get serious about your finances or money. Money could be on the mind at this time. Things around career could come up for you. So you could be asked to get serious about your career, how you invest your time, how you contribute in the world. So if you're not somebody who needs to work or is working, then you could look into volunteer work at this time. It's about how you share your expertise and how you help others to utilize their expertise in some way. So uplifting, empowering, and inspiring others in some way. This is also going to probably bring in power dynamics. So anywhere where you give your power away or you're easily influenced or easily manipulated, you could see experiences come up that showcase how that's happening or where that's happening so that you can make some adjustments. And that will likely take time, right? This is a long transit. Once Saturn gets back into Aries in February, he'll be in there for a while. So, a lot of emphasis will be put on, again, career, your expertise, going back to school maybe, and honing that expertise, getting to a place where you feel ready to share it, to express yourself in that way, to heal your relationship with money if that needs some healing. You could also see either gains or losses when it comes to money and have to move through the lessons of whatever that brings in for you. But power dynamics are a big one that many will likely go through. And that could be also where you're trying to have control or power over another, where you might have to take a look at, where it is that you are taking perfectionism to the extreme. And so you might need to work through that in some way. But power, money, status, influence all kind of come up for evaluation at this time. Also taking a risk. You might be asked to take some big risks over the next coming years that will, have a lot to teach you and a lot of lessons involved there in moving through the consequences of those risks and what they can teach you about yourself. So big energy, 6s. Life path 7, you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 9 for this transit. And so this is really asking you to step into a purpose greater than self. So you all are not going to be the focus, or at least the focus is not going to be on you for this transit. It's really going to be about your place in the world, how you contribute in the world, and again, how you are a part of something bigger than just yourself. And so you would find likely that some opportunities will come up for you to help to uplift, empower, inspire others in some way, to share your abundance in some way that helps to open the doors for others, to come up with solutions or resources that, again, help not only you, but others as well. Big emphasis here on that, taking the all into consideration and your place within that whole. Also, this can bring up the need for release, the need for things falling away. And again, because it's Saturn, there's likely going to be some restrictions and some loss. But that loss is creating not only is it clearing the clutter, because this can be about, losing some of the faulty belief systems that you might carry, working through some of the behaviors or the addictions that you might have that are hindering your progress and evolution in some way. And also it has us look at where it is that we've been procrastinating, where it is that we keep putting things off because maybe it's the more mundane things. And it asks us to get serious about tying up those loose ends, getting that, again, clutter off our plate so that we can create space for the new. This is not the best time to, although again, it's a longer transit, so it's kind of difficult to say this and kind of hold to it, but it's not always the best time to initiate or start something new. This is a time to really put your energy and focus into what you've already initiated and you're starting to build. Like you've already started building it, or you've already, started, like that train is already in motion. This is such a beautiful energy to continue to put that energy into what you have already started and work on completing that. Also, there could be a lot of insights coming in for you, new ideas, new inspirations. This is such a beautiful planning period to decide how you will take action and what that will look like. Life path number 8, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 1. So this is all about you, baby. This is about you figuring out what you want. This is about you getting serious about your place in the world, asserting yourself, taking action, finding your courage and your confidence and your faith in yourself, and to, speak up for what you want, to take up more space, to initiate. Now, what's beautiful about the 1 energy is this is the trailblazer energy. This is using your divine and unique ingenuity to create something, to invest in something, to take a risk towards something that is about your vision. And, recognizing your limitations and how to work with those limitations by calling in the resources and the support that can help you to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, but not letting your limitations or your perceived failures hold you back. This is definitely about recognizing your value and your worth. And again, how you express yourself. Do you feel good about how you express yourself? Do you feel confident? Do you feel good in what it is that where it is that you invest your time and energy, whether that's in relationships or in work, wherever that may be. This is taking a look. This is having you take a long, hard look at yourself and also ask yourself those bigger questions. What do I want? What decisions do I need to make in order to move in that direction? What is it going to take? How much do I need to be invested? Blah, blah, blah. So the spotlight is on you for this cycle. And again, figuring out what it is that you want and then working through any of the barriers that might be before you that are keeping you from truly stepping into that, that sense of self. So big energies here, 8s. And last but certainly not least, life path 9. So you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 2. So for this cycle, you're being asked to get serious and focused on relationships. how you relate to others. This is not like a specific relationship. This is the art of relating. So how do you connect with others? How do you heal connections? How do you hold those conversations? Where is it that maybe you might need to make more compromises? Where is it that you're sacrificing and need to refrain from doing so and learn more how to compromise and meet people in the middle? This is a great time for healing connections, for, again, evaluating or reevaluating how you show up to connections. Is there an equal exchange of energy? If there's not, what decisions and choices do you need to make in order to get to that place? What conversations need to be had in order to get to that place? Or what kind of releasing needs to take place in order to clear space to call in relationships that are more reciprocal? So a lot of emphasis on collaboration, working together, connecting with each other. Also, being able to be the observer within your experience and see where the disconnect is, and then figure out the solution that will help to bring the connection. This is about greater balance and harmony. So anywhere that is out of balance within your life, you will be asked to get serious about bringing that greater harmony and balance back into your life, coming back to your center. So if you're too cynical, you're going to be asked to find ways to release that cynical nature and step more into your idealism, into your positivity, not spiritual bypassing or not, toxic positivity, but, seeing where it is that your thoughts and your belief systems are actually holding you back and keeping you stuck. So beautiful energy here. And remembering that you're not an island. You're not meant to do this alone. We are all meant to connect with others and collaborate in some way. And so the next couple of years for you all is going to be pushing you to do that and to find the people that you can connect with, collaborate with, work with, but then also those connections that you can heal. And you might need to swallow your pride in the process, but it's certainly doable. Hope it's a great one. Take care.